my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Millie and I'm the person behind Blink Lettering. Today I've got a super requested video, and that is a craft room tour. So for those of you who don't know, I moved into a new flat just before lockdown, so at the beginning of March. So I've been here for a few months, and over the past few months I've just been settling in and getting my craft room to a point that I'm really happy with it. And that's now. Well, there are some other bits of equipment I still would quite like to buy, but that's going to be a few months down the line, I think. So I thought I'd show you what my craft room is like today, and I'll show you how I store everything, how I keep all my pens, and where I work as well. How I've laid out this room is in 4 sections, kind of. So I'm going to take you through each section and show you how I've laid out this space to make it a super productive space and also a creative space too. I am really lucky that we're now in a 2-bedroom flat, which means that I now have a whole room for Blink Lettering. It's also used for our home office when we're working in our full-time jobs as well, but it does mean that we have lots of space here and lots of space for my pens, which is super exciting. So as you can see, it's a pretty big craft room and I'm super lucky to have that. There's also 2 lovely massive windows, which makes it super great for filming calligraphy videos and my YouTube videos as well. So the first area I wanted to show you, but I probably won't go into too much detail, but this desk here is my husband's desk. So this is where he works in his full-time job. Over here we do have my lamp, which I use for filming, especially when it's dark. I do actually have 2 of these as well, but I only keep one up just because I only normally need one for most things, and then the second one is just stored under my desk. This printer here is mine. It is what I used to use for printing out any colour prints. However, I have got myself a brand new printer now. This is the Epson XP760. I am thinking of getting rid of this because I actually haven't used this since moving in pretty much, and I don't think the colours are that great. So I think this will be going at some point, but that means it can make some space for some new toys, which I'm super excited about. If you're interested, this desk is from IKEA and so are the drawers. I'll try and link everything in the description below that I mention. These boxes here are just filled with clothing, which is my husband's business, Heavy Surf. And then on the walls, we just have some artwork. So a lot of this is my husband's artwork. So these 4 pieces are, as you can see, he's into his Star Wars. And then over here, I have 2 prints. So I got this one from the D&AD festival in 2017, which is quite a while ago now. And then this one is an original from Ink and Lease, which I actually won in a giveaway she did, I think a couple of years ago as well. And I absolutely love it. It's so beautiful. So this area is where the magic happens. This is where I do all of my calligraphy work, and I also now work from home, so I've got the screen set up and my laptop. But what's great is I can actually move the laptop and the keyboard and mouse out the way, and it's actually a really big desk. I got this desk from IKEA. In fact, pretty much all the furniture in this room is from IKEA. But I absolutely love this desk. It's really solid and it's wipeable as well, which is great because I always spill like watercolour and ink on it and it just cleans up really easily. Next to it, I have some drawers, and these are Alex drawers. These are a small set of Alex drawers, and we'll dive in and I'll show you what I store in all of these in a second. These 2 strange looking arms are my stands for my camera and my iPad. So this one here, I can screw a camera onto the end, and then this one I can attach my iPad into it. It just means that I can do overhead filming on my desk, which is so good for things like Instagram videos and also YouTube videos too. I actually just keep them both on my desk there because otherwise I'd be having to take them off and on all the time, which is a little bit frustrating. But they can move, so I can just move them out the way. On my desk, I have some pen pots and some paper as well. So this is a cute little design I painted for my Instagram quite a while ago now. And then in these pen pots, I mainly store, like, these are my fine liners, or pens that I only have a few of. So these Stabilo Pen 68 brush pens, I only have 3 of them, so I've just stored them there. And then on this side is pretty much all of my white pens, and then I've got things like my bookbinding tools, scissors, and some other gel pens as well. And then I've also got this pot of pen towels, which I literally use these all the time, so I just have these on my desk so they're super easy to grab. And then in this box behind, I store all of my Rhodia dot pads, and I also keep all of the artwork that I've created for my Instagram, which are just going to be added to my Etsy shop at some point, which I'm super excited about adding them up. I've already sold, I think, like 4 or 5 of my originals, and I'm excited to get more up there. Above my desk, I have my cute little mini garden. So I've just got a few different succulents and cacti here. This is actually an air plant, which is flowering, which is pretty cool. And then over on this side is where I store my tripod for my camera that I'm using right now, just so it's really easy to hand. And then my microphone, which I use for most of my YouTube videos. I'm not using it in this one because I'm moving around the room quite a lot, so it's not really gonna work. Then I also store my iPad here. I mean, this kind of just moves to wherever I've been using it, really. And then I've also got my weekly and daily planners here, which I got from Soul and Fire, and I absolutely love them. I just got these recently and they're just so handy to have on the desk next to me. Over here, I've got a bit of a random selection of pens and paper and inks. And these are basically things that I've been gifted or I have bought, and I want to try them out for a YouTube video, or I need to share them online. So I've just got them here as a little reminder. I've also got my Karen Brush Pro markers there as well, which I think will be the permanent place to store them. And once I've used all the other supplies around it, it'll just be a bit easier to access. Then I've got these 2 little drawers. These are just filled with random bits, to be honest. So this has my heat gun in it, and also my embossing powders. I don't have too many of them. And then this drawer has a few little electronic bits and also my calligraphy inks, which I kind of think I need to store somewhere else. Pop them in there for now. Then I've got another little to-do list, which I got ages ago at Paper Chase. And this is, again, just a nice handy to-do list, similar to the other ones I just showed you. And then this is my lifestyled luxury day planner. And I got this at the beginning of the year in an attempt to be more organised. And to be honest, I am definitely more organised than I was last year, but I haven't used this too much. I did use it quite a bit at the beginning of the year. And I think I need to get back into using it again. I then also have this pot of random pens. And these are basically pens that have been gifted to me by Tombow UK. So I'm actually now part of the Tombow collective, which is super exciting. And that just means I get sent products every couple of months or so. And I just have to share a few posts on my Instagram. And it means I can test out lots of their products for you guys. So I've just got this to hand next to my desk, just as a little reminder that I need to do some posts using these pens. Next to my desk, I have these canvases. So my intention is to do a YouTube video at some point where I actually paint on one of these. I haven't actually got around to designing it yet. I still need to decide what words I actually want on there. So if you've got any suggestions of what I could paint on this canvas, then let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. So these drawers are Alex drawers from IKEA. Like I said, everything's from IKEA. So in the top drawer are just a few various little bits and bobs that I need to hand. So I've got all of my washi tapes. I've got my leveler for calligraphy. I've got knives, some random watercolors, just little bits and bobs that I'll need to use at some point. And then in the next drawer is my watercolor drawer. So this is where I keep all of my watercolors, and I've got some inks in here as well. So I've got some handmade watercolors, my watercolor palette. This thing I use to clean my brush, which is why it's nice and colorful. And then I've just got my water pot as well. I store my glass pens here too. In the next drawer, this drawer is just filled with paints. So these are lots of acrylic paints, which I don't really use too much, but I am planning to use them for that canvas. So I haven't like got rid of them or anything. I've then got things like my matte varnish spray and my spray mount and my Mod Podge. So this is kind of like a mix of paints and other useful liquids like my gum arabic and what's that? That's my masking fluid. At the back there are loads of random pens. So those are a lot of pens from Wish basically that I bought a few years ago for a video, and I never actually filmed the video. So maybe I should do that at some point. I basically bought a load of pens from Wish that really didn't cost me much because I was intrigued to see what they were like. In the next drawer is a bit of a mess. So this is where I keep my toner and my printer ink for all of my printers. Nothing too exciting in there. And then in the bottom drawer, it was a little bit neater, but I think it moves around every time I open it. But I've got all of my easels for my calendars, which I am going to be re-releasing again very soon. And then I've just got lots of little gift boxes, which I used for my wooden Christmas decorations a couple of years ago. And I don't think I'll do those decorations again, but I do have an idea of what I could use these boxes for, which I want to start creating this week. On this side of my desk, I just have quite a lot of random boxes. So some of this needs to go to the art charity shop that's near me. This has lots of paper for my workshops that obviously aren't happening at the moment. And then I've got a load of pens in here, which I did used to sell packs of pens. I think I still got some available. So I need to have a sort through that and figure out how many packs of pens I've still got left so I can add them to my Etsy shop. And then this box has my bouquet from my wedding. It's actually fallen apart a little bit, so the styrofoam ball has just disintegrated a little bit. So I want to get a new ball and rebuild my bouquet because I absolutely love it. I used to have it on display in my old room and I want that back up. So I've just got this here as a reminder that I need to do that at some point. And then over here, this is just a cover for my iPad, which I don't really use much now because I've got a new one. This is my pretty post. So if you know Zoe from The Golden Letter, she set up a new company called The Pretty Post, and it's lots of really beautiful cards. And this is the first box she did with her Kickstarter. And then this is a really lovely print my husband gave to me for our 3-year wedding anniversary the other week. It's actually leather. It's like laser engraved leather, and it's just one of our songs, which is really lovely. As you can see, it's really lovely and bright next to my desk. I absolutely love how bright it is. I did actually have this desk on the other side of the wall originally because I wanted loads of artwork in front of it as an inspiration wall, but I just felt like it wasn't working so well, and it was quite shadowy when it was over the other side of the wall. So I'm really happy I moved it over to this side of the room now, and I've got all this lovely light. And when I'm working my full-time job, I got a nice view looking out the window. Under my desk, I've just got another box of random stuff which I need to take to the charity art shop as well. And then the bag is my second photo light, which I showed you earlier. So this desk is at hip height, which is great because it means I can stand up and create and pack all of my orders, which makes my life so much easier. On top of the desk, I have my paper trimmer, which is a thing of beauty, as you can see. This is pretty dangerous, but it can cut through like 200-300 sheets of A4 paper, which is amazing. I got it for my calendars, and it just sped up the process of making my calendars so much. It made my life so much easier. I've then got some of my stickers that I use for my packaging on the wall, just for easy access. And this purple thing is my paper folder. I actually shared this in I think it was my June's favourite video. And it just makes it really easy for me to fold all of my cards. Then over here we have my Mink foil machine. So this is what I use for all of my foiled prints and greetings cards. And then next to it is my laser printer. This is a Brother laser printer, and it is the HL L2340DW, which is quite lengthy. And then just behind the printer, I have my Dymo label printer, and I use this to print all of my Etsy order postage, and it just makes my life so much easier. I don't have to worry about writing people's addresses. I can pay for my postage directly on Etsy, so I can just print it out and then pop my orders in the post box, which is great. Above the desk on the windowsill, I have my die cutting machine. This was gifted to me when I was on the Do Crafts design team quite a few years ago now, and I haven't got rid of it because I thought I might use it for a few different projects. So I have kept it, but admittedly I have not used that in a very long time. And then over here is some other bits that I use for packaging. So I've just got my pens that I use for writing on the envelopes. I've got some washi tape. I've got my scale so I can weigh my packages. And then I've also got this, which just means that I can double check that things are either letter or large letter. And I've got some stamps up there as well. So if we go under my desk, on this side, this is where I store pretty much all of my packaging materials. So in this cube, I have all of my board back A5 envelopes at the back. And then these are all of my craft envelopes that are used with my greetings cards. And then this is a big stack of my thank you leaflets that I put in all of my Etsy orders. And I've got a few stickers up here as well. Underneath is where I keep my ribbon and twine and also my paper tape, which I use for when I'm using my pip boxes. And I've got some A4 envelopes here as well. It's looking a little bit messy down there. Over here I have a lot of grey board. And grey board is essentially board that is grey. I use this as the backings for all of my prints. So they go into biodegradable cellophane bags, and then I put these boards in just to give a bit of extra protection. Underneath I have a load of boxes for mugs. I do have a couple of mugs which I haven't got in my shop yet. I am wondering whether to put them in my shop. They'd be hand painted, so it's just kind of figuring out if that's a viable product. And then I've just got a few other envelopes. These are A3 board back envelopes, which I put my larger prints in. Under here is looking a little bit of a mess. So all of these envelopes have my biodegradable cello bags in, and I put them into different envelopes depending on what size they are. This was all just loose before and it was a nightmare trying to find the correct size. So now I just have them in envelopes. For example, this. You can see that's the 5x7 size. And then I've also got my A4 pip boxes under this side. These cubes are Kallax shelves, by the way, and they're from IKEA. I absolutely love them. They're so handy, and I love that they fit A4 paper in really easily. In between the shelves, I've just got a little bit of storage, and my tripod as well is tucked in there. On this side, I store all of my paper that I use for printing on, and also a few different products as well. So in this cube, I've got these really handy paper files. These are wooden ones, so they're just really solid and easy to store paper in, and I can just slide them out. So I've just got my matte paper here, which I use for my greetings cards. Then this is my silk paper that I use for my foil print. I've got some linen texture paper here, which I don't have any products that I'm using for at the moment, but I am planning to do wedding stationery at some point. So I've just got that there to hand. And then that's an extra pack of my greetings card. And then if we go down here, we've got the sheets for my stickers. And then I've got some more card down here. This is just super smooth white card. I haven't started using this card for anything yet. I do need to do some tests on it just to see what it's like for foiling and printing colour. But I just got this recently, so I've just popped it in here for now. And then I've just got some coloured card, including my craft card over here. I tend to use this a lot for some of my Instagram videos, but I am looking at doing more products that use craft card, which I'm super excited about. On this side, I have a lot of Christmas crackers and gift bags. So I recently bought lots of Christmas crackers, and the plan is that they are recyclable crackers that you build at home yourself, and you can add in your own gifts, which is really exciting. And they're going to be personalised, so you can have your name or your family's names. So they'll look really beautiful on your table at Christmas. I then also got a load of gift bags. So these are some small ones and there's bigger ones at the back. And again, I'm going to be doing personalised gift bags for Christmas, which I'm really excited about. This drawer here, I'm not going to pull out because it's quite heavy, but it's basically got a load of mugs from when I did a craft fair. I think it was about 2 years ago now. I basically offered hand-painted personalised mugs. So I am wondering whether to put these in my Etsy shop. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. They would be completely hand-painted, so they definitely have a handmade feel. But on top, I've just got some random bits of packaging from products that I've ordered myself. And then I've got some of my A5 pit boxes as well. It's a little bit messy under the table, but when you're stood up, you can't see that, so I don't mind so much. And then down here between these drawers and the shelves, I'm just storing a few different bits and bobs. So I've got my bookbinding, I don't know what it's called now, frame? Basically it's used for binding books. I haven't done any bookbinding for a really long time, but these can be quite expensive, so I don't want to get rid of it in case I did want to do it in future. I then have some photo boards, which I use for taking photos on, basically. And I've got my graphic design portfolio and my light pad too. So this is an A3 light pad and basically lights up, and then I can trace over text really easily. Over here, I have my new A3 printer. This is the Canon IP750 and I love it. It's my baby. You just open it up like so and like so, and it can print A3 and the colours are just so vibrant. I absolutely love it. This printer is sat on some Alex straws, and these I got when I was in my last craft room. So if you saw that craft room tour, you would have seen these. And these are just great for storing paper and things that are quite flat, basically. So in the top drawer, I have some more paper. And this is my special matte coated paper that I use for all of my prints. It just makes the colours really bright and vibrant. And because it is quite expensive paper, I have just stored it in here just so it doesn't get too dusty. And there's also A3 sheets too, so it's just a bit easier to store like this. In this drawer, I've got all of my tissue paper, which I've only just started storing like this. I used to have like a really big plastic bag that kept moving around the room all the time. And now I've got this tissue paper in this drawer. It's made my life so much easier getting the tissue paper out. And it's just super handy. This drawer does look like a little bit of a mess, but basically it is all of my foils. I've got so many colours in here. I do need to have a proper sort through this and do a little stock take and just see if there's any colours I need to order and just tidy it. It was in a really lovely colour order at one point, but yeah, it's got a little mess. Then in this drawer, I've just got different pads and notebooks basically. So I've got like my watercolour A3 pads over here and some sketch pads, and then I've just got some notebooks over this side. I just found it a really easy place to store. Again, not that tidy. This drawer is basically filled with seconds. So these are basically things that I've made, but I'm not entirely happy with the quality, but they could still be sold. So my plan is to have a second sale in my shop at some point. There's a lot of Christmas cards in here that has my old branding on as well. So I think I'll add that into the shop. These are some of the books I used to make. It's actually kind of cute. Quite like that. And then in this drawer, I've just stored little bits and bobs basically. I've got my bunting from my craft fair, and I think these boxes are just filled with scrap bits of foil that I've used. So that's just a little bit of a knick-knack drawer basically. So that is my order packing and creation station. I absolutely love having an area dedicated to making my orders. In my old craft room, I had to pack everything away so I could then do my calligraphy. And it feels so good now that I can just have everything out and it's just all really easily accessible. I've saved my favourite part of my room to last for this craft room tour, and that is this little inspiration area. I absolutely love that I've got all of my pens out on display. I've got some beautiful artwork from small businesses on display, and my new pride and joy, my new plant baby. in the corner too. So the cupboard is again from IKEA. Like I said, everything's from IKEA. I can't remember what the cupboard is. So the cupboard actually has lots of bits and bobs for our flat, like our bike helmets and our iron and things like that. So there's nothing in there that's really to do with Blink. So I'm not gonna show you what's inside because it's just everyday household bit. But it does create a really lovely surface for just keeping some little bits and bobs. So on top I have my Ecoline liquid watercolours. The blue is missing, but that's because I use it for packaging my orders. And then I've got this cute little plant pot with a face on it, which I absolutely love. And just a few bits of decoration in the Blink colours. And then I've got my letterboard, is that what it's called? And it just says Blink lettering on it. And of course it's in the Blink colours. To the left of the cupboard is my bookcase, which is a Billy bookcase. And this is where I store things like Blink lettering admin, my magazines, all of my pens, and some creative books as well. So on the top shelf, I've just got a few different books that relate to type design, graphic design, and calligraphy as well. So all of my pens I keep in these pots. These are just metal plant pots from IKEA. They cost like 50p and they store so many pens. I absolutely love them. For these shelves, I've kind of created some sense of order. So I'll show you what's on each shelf now. On this top one is my chalk markers and my Posca paint pens. And I've also got all of my pencils. At the back, I've got some Stabilo pens. They're not brush pens though. And then I've also got some chameleon pens, which I haven't tried out yet. I need to try those out. On the next shelf, I have my paintbrushes at the back. And then this pot has my double-ended brush pens. So I've got my Tombow dual brush pens in there and my Zebra mild liner brush pens too. And then this little pot is just random pens that I only have one of. And I just like to be able to grab those every so often. Then at the front, these are a mixture of double-ended brush pens again. So I've got my Stapler brush pens there. And I've also got my Do Craft Artiste brush pens, as well as the Papermania metallic brush markers, which are amazing. Then I've got a pot of all of my Crayolas. So I've got Crayola Super Tips and the normal Crayolas as well. And then this has my Sakura Jelly Roll gel markers. So I've got some of the Moonlight ones and the Stardust ones, I think. On the next shelf, I have all of my Ecoline brush pens at the front. So I tend to keep the ones that I use the most right at the front. And then at the back, I have my watercolour pens. So these have real bristles. So that's the Creative Peak Precision Watercolours and also the Zig Clean Colour brush pens too. And then I've got the Artline Supreme brush markers, and these are the Artline stick pens, which look like Lego. They're a lot of fun. I've also got the Sailor Shikiori brush pens here. These are double-ended brush pens as well. And then I've got a few design magazines, which I collected from when I was at university a long time ago. I quite like collecting pretty magazines, so I haven't actually got rid of them yet. And then these are all the Simply Lettering magazines. So it goes all the way up to issue 12 now. I'm actually in a few of these magazines, which is super exciting. Next up, I've got all of my Happy newspapers. These are amazing. I absolutely love Emily Coxhead and I love all of her designs and how bright and colourful they are. And I like to just have these on hand, and if I'm feeling a bit low, I can read some happy stories. And then I've got some more pens. These are my Paper Chase pens, and I've got some other pens too that I just haven't taken out their packs yet. I might put some of these into those metal pots that I had earlier. And then down here on the left side is just all of my boring admin that I store for my tax returns. And then I've got some more books. This box is filled with products from the Inky box from when I was an ambassador for the Inky box. And I've just got some more pens here as well that are in cases. So these are Artiste pens, and then this is my exclusive Pentel box that Cult Pens had in stock. I think it's still in stock actually. Next to the cupboard, I have this Monstera plant, which I absolutely love. I got the pot and the plant stand separately, but both from Amazon, so I'll be sure to link them in the description below because I've had quite a lot of interest already from people on my Instagram. And then finally is this little part, which is a mesh notice board. And I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I love that I can have lots of different artwork on here, and I can change it up whenever I want. I can move things around, and it's even got a shelf for my plants. As you can tell, I quite like plants. I'm a bit of a crazy plant lady. So on this mesh grid, I have a beautiful silk painting by my friend Ellie. Her company is Ellie Silk. And then this print is from Soul and Fire. This Hager looking print is one of my prints. And then this rainbow print is by Calligraphy, and it's beautiful. I love the paper that has come on. And then this card is from Amy Mack, which I got recently. It is a greetings card, but I just really liked it, so I've pinned it on to my notice board. And then this was carved by one of my friends as a birthday present, which I absolutely love. And then I've got a little wooden Gdansk postcard. And then this was a little freebie in my Soul and Fire order as well. This part of the room just makes me so happy, and it makes a really lovely filmy background. And I just love the fact that all of my pens are out, and I've just got a little bit of an inspiration wall. Hi, Editing Millie here. I completely forgot to film an outro for this craft room video, so I'm gonna film that now. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and having a bit of a nosy around my craft room. As you can tell, I am pretty happy with this craft room right now. I absolutely love it. I love that I have a proper space now to be creative. I know I'm super lucky to have this space available, but even if you just take small bits of inspiration, if you've got just a little corner of the room and you just want some inspiration on how to store some pens or how to organise paper a little bit more, I hope this inspired you. Craft room tours are like one of my favourite videos to watch, so I hope you guys loved it as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch some more videos from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!